for today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Oh.
Yeah, we took the day off yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of being quiet for a little while. And it was interesting because I had started the book that I had gotten there a couple of days ago by William Peter Blatty. He's the one that wrote The Exorcist. This is the second book, and it's called Legion. And I had read, and those into the symbolism and stuff like that. At one point, I looked down and I had read 33 pages. But it's a really interesting book. I like Blatty's writing style.
Yeah.
But this is Gemini season. And normally we're just like, yeah, it's Gemini season. Da, 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 da. But this time, I don't know, has hit different. It really has.
Yeah.
And not being a spoiler, where I can't be too much of a spoiler because at this point I've read 43 pages. But it's, like I said, his writing style. The Exorcist, do not go by the movie. Read the book. Mm-hmm. Two totally different experiences.
Right.
And that in this, they were discussing somebody who had been a serial killer or something like that, who went by the name Gemini. And I'm like, well, for fuck's sake. So that was odd. I found that very, very odd.
Yeah.
So over the next couple of days, I'm going to try to be still enough to continue to read. Sometimes I can read easily and other times not.
Right.
This morning, I was in a headspace where I'm like, I need to read. Mm-hmm. And like I said, his writing style is rather incredible. Mm-hmm. The storyline is intense. Of course, anytime you're dealing with some, that type of subject matter, it's not going to be light and fluffy reading.
Yeah, it's going to be quite intense, quite nerve-inducing.
Well, it proposes to us the reality of the spiritual battle that we're in.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. People are denying it, but that's where we're at. And have been for a very long time. It's just that the battle it wasn't as heated as it is becoming at this point.
Right.
A lot of the plans and the groundwork that were being laid was very subtle. So ridiculously subtle. But it says that the serpent was the most cunning. And so I had, scrolling through X, I actually have not been on X that much this weekend. I was busy doing other things.
Yeah, I haven't been on it much either.
And I was thoroughly enjoying the YouTube premium music.
It's nice, isn't it?
I could just sit and put on a playlist and read.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
And what you can watch music videos uninterrupted.
Mm-hmm. I actually had found some interesting off-the-cuff trip-hop. That was nice.
Yeah, there was a song in that playlist that I was like, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these were artists that we hadn't heard of before. That was the wonderful thing about YouTube music back in the day. You could discover artists that you had not heard of before.
Yeah.
Which was, some of them were wonderful.
Yeah, it was a lot easier to go down rabbit holes.
Yes. And not have the same recommendations 15 times. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things, as far as Roku, that recommendations, and it does not matter what topic they give you, it's the same recommendations.
Yeah.
And it's like, look, this is just ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But as I was scrolling on X, had found a video by Jeremy Corbin. No, it's Corbell. I always get the last names confused. One of them, I think, is like this big brain political person. The other one is the one that works with George Knapp. I like George Knapp. I like him a lot. He is the reporter that, what am I thinking? Bob Lazar. It's like brain just sort of glitched. Went to. Mm-hmm. Back before Bob Lazar, he knew that the only way that he would be alive was if he went to a reporter.
Yeah,
That's
or else
not,
he would have been axed.
yeah. That's not this. You can't say that today at all because it's become a political arm. Yeah.
Axed?
Propaganda machine.
Axed? What?
Reporters.
Oh, reporters.
The media. Yeah.
Shit now.
And it just, so, but when Corbell, he did that documentary on Bob Lazar. I don't know why I'm glitching on his name tonight, because I have a lot of admiration for Bob Lazar. I have a lot of empathy for him. He's gone through hell over the years.
Yeah.
And the video that Corbell did on him, it was all about Corbell.
Yeah, he wanted to be the star of the show.
Yes, he did. And I don't think that it did Lazar justice. I really don't. Now, George Knapp, I have never heard him say anything untoward about Lazar or anybody.
Right.
But both of them were there. The original congressional UAP hearings where you had the gecko man and them, you know, as far as the Tic Tac, and you had all those things. It was the first official one, David Grush. Corbell was right behind them, and I'm like, how did he get that seat?
You know, that is kind of...
Yeah, because there were other people that have been whistleblowers for a long time, and it's like that one guy that was with Blink 182?
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of his name right now either. Names are
either.
not my strong point right now. He has been at this for a long time, asking for transparency. Also, I think that they should allow some of those people to speak. But I'm not going to fault Luna or Burchett or any of the other ones that were on the UAP panel, because they did ask some pertinent questions.
Yeah. What'd they ask?
Even the Democrats behaved themselves on this subject.
Really?
Yeah. So anyhow, when I found this little snippet of a video, and it was from something that's on Tubi, some production that Corbell had done, but it asked some really good questions, and we're going to ask other questions as we watch this.
Your government now wants you to know one truth, and that truth is that UFOs are real. They've already done told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know a truth, it's so you can set them up to believe a lie, and that's coming. I have zero doubt that lie's coming.
What is the lie?
Specifically, you want me to say it right now, for real? Real? On camera? To be put in the show?
Yes.
Okay. Problem with that. If we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really...
They've been trying to do this shit for a minute. They've been planning this shit.
There's something about Corbell, and I want you all to use discretion. There is something about the way he speaks, different things like that I'm like, I don't trust him.
Right. I don't trust him either. There's something about him that's just... It's...
And the melodrama. It's like, if you got something to say, just fucking say it.
Yeah.
But he's made a whole production out of it. And it's like, are you serious about this stuff, or are you part of the lie?
I'm thinking he's part of the lie, but also I think that he is telling truth. Like, they do have something big planned.
Right.
But I don't know if it's the...
Project Bluebeam is what he's basically just sort of describing, and as far as the mass deception. Everybody knows something big is coming. We just don't know what it is. It is that perpetual sort of Damocles, just hanging over our heads. Mm-hmm. You want to go ahead with the...
Think about if you want to put this in your show. For real. That's a real thing, I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show? Absolutely. Okay. So UFOs are real. And they've been here a long time. And that's a truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe.
What's up with the extreme close-ups?
Why can we only see like a quarter of his face? Yeah, when it's that extreme of a close-up, there is no reason.
Well, I mean, all this is movie production.
Yes, but honestly, that looks, even with movies, that looks weird when you can only see, like, just
Right.
the T-zone.
Extra drama, please. And I'm like, look, it either is or it ain't.
But as far as a UFO incoming, they're already here, but they're going to do something that's much, much bigger.
It's nuanced. How they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically what document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie. A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just
Now,
start
it says
painting.
2027. Is that the actual date?
That's when he's saying, but he's getting ready to go into some massive double speak right here.
You'll have to tell us what else he's actually saying in between the...
Well, yeah.
But, like, I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot quicker. I don't think that it's going to be that far out. Now, it may or may not be. I think it's going to be sooner than that.
There's so much stuff that's going on. I mean, my God, it could be any time.
Yeah.
And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. And it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong, but it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it. I'll be called crazy. That's okay.
I don't think you're crazy. I think that you're a snake.
Yeah.
That did the thing. Is that the dude that you're talking about that did the thing with Bob Lazar?
Mm-hmm. We watched that.
That's what I was thinking, that it was that same dude.
Mm-hmm.
I don't... Maybe it's just me. I don't really believe much that he's saying. I don't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say verbatim. Like I said, I don't know why George Knapp is involved with dude. Because maybe the production value. I don't know. George Knapp don't act like that.
No. But, maybe there is something, maybe he is just a drama queen. Maybe that's what it is. But, there's just something about him that is snake-like.
Oh, yeah. There's been so many people over the years within the UFO community, and it's just like the Richard Doty thing. And that was something that AJ from the Y-Files was talking about there on the Joe Rogan podcast, that you had a lot of people that were government people that their job is to disinform people. We don't know. And when it's this spy versus spy bullshit that just people are so confused on most everything these days.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do sort of, in a way, think that, yeah, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, this big ship is coming or whatever, you know?
I don't even know if they're going to need that.
I don't think so. I think it's going to be something much greater than that. I think, but shit, I've been saying that I've had the dream of that big-ass UFO in the sky, like, big, and these dark clouds falling behind it.
Yeah.
Been saying that for a minute now.
But it's just...
I
saw that, and I'm like... And I don't know... I didn't pursue this one because I don't know whether it's been debunked yet or not, as far as Trump posting on Truth Social, and then somebody posting that over on X, that Trump had said that about the Biden clones.
He said something about the Biden clones?
Yeah, that was the whole thing. And like I said, but people hack people's accounts and they post weird shit that the original people didn't say.
Yes.
So I don't know whether it was real or not.
Cybersecurity, like, as long as you're not doing something fucked up, they can't really get into the accounts, you know?
Well, you can post as somebody else on some of that.
Like the parody accounts and stuff like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't supposed to be a parody account. But they have made these collages of the many faces of the many Bidens.
Yeah.
And my God, they're not the same peoples.
No.
At all.
Well, the thing is, the government have prosthetics that is beyond...
Yeah.
Beyond belief.
And this thing about the cloning, that's been floating around for quite a while.
Yeah, there was recently a whole movie about it. That they basically had like a 3D printer for humans.
Oh, God.
That was but it was like a Trump propaganda movie or whatever.
Oh,
it had the same dude that played Edward in Twilight.
Oh, dear God.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you something else that I had found.
Mickey 17.
Okay.
Or something like that.
I need to be able to copy some of the videos that's on YouTube. You know, we were talking the other day about lost media and stuff.
Yeah. And
how things can go down the memory hole quickly on everything. There's always somebody's got a copy. Always.
Yeah.
So internet is forever. But as far as normies and average people's being able to access some of these things, not so much.
Well, but I think it depends on the normie. Somebody
had posted, it was 6 hours of Michael Heiser speaking at some of the MUFON conferences. Okay. The UFO conferences and stuff.
Michael Heiser?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes. That's what I'm telling you. He was not just your average scholar. He was on Art Bell multiple times. He was even as far as George Norrie. I don't think he had a good experience with George Norrie. Imagine that.
I think that's common.
Yeah. But I would love to have, and some of the video of the conferences, because some of them were years ago.
Yeah.
I would love to have a copy of those so that they don't get lost, so that I could access them. Because you never know when somebody's account is going to be taken down.
That is true. You never know. You never know when somebody's going to get yeeted off the internet.
Mm-hmm. But Heiser was not afraid to discuss the weird stuff that's in Scripture. He was not afraid to answer people's questions about these things.
Right.
And he was a fighter. And Zecharia Sitchin, he had this thing. He actually had webpage there for a while, Sitchin is wrong. And Sitchin was the one that wrote Chariots of the Gods and all this stuff. I think it was the correct term of it.
Uh-huh.
And claimed that he had, was able to read the, cuneiform, the Samaritan text, and different things like that. Heiser really could. And the fact that there was academic chicanery going on there, deception.
Uh-huh.
Oh no, he was just, he wasn't having it.
He wasn't letting him pull that bullshit, was he?
No, he would call their hand out on it. And he was explaining, because in some of these scholarly circles, if somebody has not really done their work, okay, you're in a group of people that know whether you've done it or not.
Yeah.
Zecharia Sitchin was just making these books for the average people, and not that many people know Sumerian. Not that many people can read cuneiform.
No.
So they, as far as misplaced trust also. But Heiser, somebody had claimed that Heiser was doing this for, I don't know, book sales or to make money or something like that. He had posted his tax receipts. Of course, he had redacted the pertinent, the Social Security and everything like that. So the ones who had accused him of profiting from it had to shut up.
Because they were slandering him.
Yeah. And he welcomed them to post their receipts, their taxes.
Yeah.
Now, he was no nonsense when it came to honesty and truth and, to truly edify people. That's one of the reasons that I just loved him. Mm-hmm. But he was feisty. I miss his presence on the planet. So we don't know. I have heard some of the astrologers talk about 2027 and such, and everybody can sit around and ponder and theorize, and we don't know. God is the only one that knows.
Yeah.
But as far as Corbell, him saying whatever. Now, if Alex Jones had said it, I would have taken it more seriously, for real. Because Jones has a track record of being right.
Yeah. Who knows? He may say something like that,
Well, and when he does, then I will tell people. I was talking about Alex, something that he had said, which was how we got our video yeeted. I was simply repeating the information. But it was right.
It was
what he
right.
had said was right. And it had circumvented that. So when Corbell's like, well, if we can't say, they'll just say. That's the whole point. You do talk about it. You do bring it into the light so that it can be, everybody's like, oh, yeah. No sneak attacks.
Yeah. So that's seriously, that's what makes me think that he's sort of on that.
I think he's full of shit.
Yeah.
I really do.
There's just something about him that's just...
Something ain't right. First time we heard him speak, something ain't right. And like I said, poor little Bob Lazar, I would love for somebody to make a movie about the man. And now he has, over the years, been on more shows and stuff and discussed what happened with him. Where he, it wasn't like the Corbell movie.
Yeah.
Which I was highly disappointed.
Something that will actually do him justice.
Yeah.
And portray him accurately.
Yeah. But now a lot of it, he's being vindicated about a lot of the stuff that he said over the past year or so. Mm-hmm. People are like, this is exactly what Lazar talked about.
Yep.
He deserves that. He really does. Paranormal, supernatural, lizard peoples incoming. Well, who knows? Who knows? Yeah.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
Like I said, I know
prayers
what I
all the time. Prayers.
I know what I dreamed, and I've had dreams come true before.
Yeah.
Accurately. And I am not looking forward to the day that dream becomes a reality, if it does.
Well, hopefully, dreams can be symbolic, though. And it's just one of those that you write it down, you keep it in a journal, and you wait.
Yeah.
That's it. And you have faith and pray until then.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell the peoples where we can be found?
Yeah, you can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Don't forget to follow... Wait, what did I say? I literally, like, my mind, like, it just... Bonk. What the fuck did I say? I was at BitChute, Rumble, YouTube at Orlando's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also find her on X, previously known as Twitter, at Orlando COCWS.
Yeah, we've all been having of course, we've got the geomagnetic storm and everything like that. I've been having verbal dyslexia today. I mean, truly. And just, yeah.
I've just been going through the emotional and mental shit
today. Anyhow.
And it's like...
Let us pray one for another.
The brain glitches.
Mm-hmm.
Those ain't fun.
No.
When you're trying to get a point across or say something,
mm-hmm.
you know, and then it just goes away.
Well, it's a matter of just being patient with yourself and others.
I got too much Aries in my chart to do that.
Well, that's part of what's going on right now is some of that stuff's hitting you. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Yep.
Bye.